It's 5:30, so for me, I start on time because I know that your time is precious and you want to get out of here just like I do. So we'll try to go through this quick. I'll apologize now because I am a fast talker, okay? But we are recording this and we will send this out. So I know some people always look for, a late night movie or something to watch, and so you can watch this to help you go to sleep at night if you need to. Very excited. Congratulations for all of you that are here and have already met all the benchmarks. And I'll say future congratulations to those of you all that will meet the benchmarks, because I believe that you will. All right, so do not get down on yourself if you're kind of worried about that. You will make it. Just keep studying and dedicate to it. So we have a lot of things that have to happen between now and the start of the school year, but they only take a few minutes to do. So if you turn the page over, the first thing that you have to do is make sure that you apply as a student at EC3. You must apply as a student at EC3. Now that application honestly probably takes you about 15 minutes. And if you just log on to the EC3 website and you go to admissions, go from there, and it's very easy. Some pertinent information that you'll need, obviously you'll need your date of birth and you will need your social security number. All right, that's how they kind of tie everything together. I'll get into that a little bit when I talk about keys and money and so on. So please try to take care of that as soon as possible. If you have never applied to EC3, and this is your first time, then you will secure a KCTCS ID number. That number starts with 00, and then it's 2, unless we get into the 3s now, something, okay? And that number is kind of like your student ID number at your home high school. We will use it for a lot of different things. So make sure that you record that, put it in your phone, put it in your notes. I will ask you a lot for that KCTCS ID number because that's how we report a lot of things to the school. The next thing that you will do once you secure all that is set up your student self-service account. All right? Let me see. I'm sorry, I tried to scramble. It's the third page in here, and that will walk you through setting that up. If for some reason you do not do that, we will do that on the first day of school. All right? But trust me, take care of it now. You can get in there. You'll have an email account, and it'll be the one that you'll use with a lot of your professors and so on. So go ahead and take care of that. Now, some of you may already have that complete because you're a dual credit student at your high school now. So that's great, but you probably still need to make sure you know how to get into it. Sign up for Remind. Now, this is for students and for parents. I communicate with your students a lot via Remind. Sometimes during the day, I'll send them a message. Sometimes I get things from the home high school that say, hey, would you have so-and-so come by and see you? And they know that typically our early college students respond to my reminds a lot quicker than the ones you might respond to your home high school. I don't know what it is. I appreciate it. So please, if I send you a reminder, that you respond to it. Parents, I will send things out to you as well. And sometimes those communications may be, I've tried to reach your student and I cannot. Please help me. And then if I try that and I can't reach you, then I pick up the phone and I may just call you directly. But please make sure that you and your student are part of that. And then the last thing on there is for those of you all that are still trying to reach benchmarks, you need to get those things secured immediately, okay? And immediately for me is July 1. That's really when I need to have it because of scheduling. We have already started building your schedules, and really for the most part across our district, we have schedules built at Central, John, and North. You probably don't even know what that schedule looks like, but it is there if you were choosing to stay at your home high school. So the faster that I can get qualifying scores, the faster I can wipe out that schedule and helps the high schools know their true numbers. So that's why we need to know those sooner than later. Tomorrow is the deadline for the June 8th ACT. So if you're planning to take the ACT one more time, you must sign up by tomorrow or you will then have to pay the late fee. So please take care of that. All right, so we're going to go ahead to this long document. It's 2 pages that I'm going to go over, and this is really the meat of our meeting. Students that attend here, that come to class, will need to make sure that they have a parking tag. And I say that up front because we have a lot of students that will, come and go. Our parking lot is kind of like a revolving door. So just for security purposes, we want to make sure that everyone has their parking tag. So to get an EC3 parking tag, you must secure a home high school parking tag. Now, I know a lot of people say, that doesn't make sense. Well, that's part of our district rules. They do pull for drug testing out of those parking permits and things. So you have to secure your home high school parking tag before you can get an EC3 parking tag. And our parking tag, we do charge a $5 deposit that we will give back to you at the end of the year. And again, it's just for record keeping. So we're not interested in having your money. You're going to pay enough for your college classes. But please make sure that you take care of that. The school day and calendar is a big deal. Your students are getting ready to be on ECTC's calendar, okay? We will meet with them at the beginning of the school year, and then they are on ECTC's calendar. It's very important for you to understand that. A lot of people like to take family vacations, okay? Take one this summer. You probably will not get a chance to take a family vacation with your child when they're on the ECTC calendar, because fall break is gone for them, okay? They get 2 days, a whole 2 days of fall break, which matches up with Hardin County Schools. So if you wanted to take a long weekend, maybe you could do that. And they get spring break, but it's a totally different week, and it's a lot colder when they take it, okay? So I want everyone to understand that, because that pops up for a lot of people, and they start going, well, we didn't know. You know, okay? I'm telling you now. Please make plans for that. Your child should not miss class for vacation, all right? If they have to miss class for an illness and things like that, then obviously that's things you work through. But missing for a vacation, please make sure that does not happen. Hardin County Schools starts on August 8th. Your child still is a Hardin County School student, and so the district must account for them. So on August 8th, every child reports to their home high school, not here at EC3. You report to your home high school, first day of school, just like always, and you go to homeroom or whatever your school does, and they count you, okay? And then they release to first period. When they make that release to first period, you come to EC3. We are your first period, okay? And you'll come here and we'll meet, and we'll have an orientation. There is a long video that I have to show you from the state of Kentucky about dual credit and so on. Some of you may have even seen it before. We'll watch that. We will go over some things with the college. We will do a quick tour. We'll do several things on that day. It'll be a busy day. And then on the 9th, which is a Friday, the second day of school, you report here. You just come here. So first day you go to home high school, second day you come here. We have accounted for you, okay? The second day, which is that Friday, you'll plan to be here till about lunchtime, okay? And then parents, this is where it becomes different. They are free, okay? And then they go. And so I will send out a message to parents, and I will say, your students have been released, and they are gone, okay? Now, when that happens, I want you to understand, I only track them so much, okay? You are parents still. Please continue to be parent. I am parent in this. I have a child that's in this, and I have a fantastic app, and I do not work for the company. But if you do not have Life 360 on your child, you should get it before you leave today. Okay? It is a wonderful app for you to track your child. If your child has class at ECTC at 10 a.m. and you look on the app, it should show that they're on campus. It should tell you how fast they drove to get there, okay? There's several really nice things, but you may feel like you have the best relationship with your child and say, oh, my child will never do that, and so get the app, okay? Trust me, it will help you, it will help them, and it will keep that communication open for you all. Now, I understand there are some glimpses in it, and sometimes it's like, or glitches in it, and it may say that they're not there yet, but they might be, and give it a couple minutes and it catches up. But I'm telling you, that is something you want to have, because I will not know if your child is in class at that moment. I may get a message a week later from a professor or through their system that's called Starfish that says, so-and-so has not reported to class today, which is it's a week later. I'll send you that and let you know, but the week is gone. So again, those are things that, again, we're going to have to work together on that. Once I know that your child is not there, I will let you know. I will call your child in, and I will want to know why they are missing class. Those conversations usually are not fun conversations. All right? Choosing to take this program on, there is a very high level of maturity that goes along with it. So that's just got to be there. August 19th. So we have the whole next week, and then August 19th hits, that's when classes start. So I'll see your kids on the 8th, I'll see them on the 9th half a day, and then I will not see them the next week unless they are taking English and or math in our building. If they are taking English or math in our building, they will start classes on the 12th. Okay, and we do that. Those are our professors, our teachers that teach. They're dual credit certified. And because sometimes we have days that miss and calendar, we're out of a Monday that where ECTC may be in and so forth, we go ahead and start. So I encourage your child, if they need to take English, they must take math, to take those here at EC3. We have a higher success rate and a higher pass rate in those courses. So that is our recommendation, but I will not force anyone to that. That is a decision for your child and you to make, but that is our high recommendation. Okay? Every student must take English and math as a high school senior. Now, some of you, maybe at your home high school, have already completed and or completing English 101 and 102, right? So you're thinking, well, that's all that I have to have. Correct. That is all you must have in that type of program. But we recommend that you still take another English if it fits into your college level program that you're trying to go to. And if you don't know what that is, you got some homework this summer. Start researching. Hopefully you get an idea of what you think you might want to do. That time is coming really quick. But for those students that have completed English 101 and 102, and that's all that your potential career college major requires, then we have you do something with our work ethic certification. All right, that is something that will happen after the fall semester ends, and that happens December 16th to the 20th. That's 1 week before Hardin County Schools gets out. We have our students come in and we do a work ethic certification program. They'll be briefed on a lot of different things for work ethic. They'll complete a resume, a job application, and then they complete an English assessment. That English assessment is designed for them to show their knowledge in English, because they've already completed 101 and 102. So they're going to take that assessment, and once they complete that assessment, that's how they get their high school credit for English that year. So it goes in Infinite Campus as an English with a pass and a credit. You do not get a letter grade for it. But that is the other way for students that already have English 101 or 102. That's how you get that. Okay? Now I want to talk a little bit about college grades and their grading scale. Yes, sir.
The schedule, I was looking through that. Is that given out on that first couple of days that they're there? Do they receive their college?
Their college schedule? I'll get to that part. There is a scheduling process that all of our students will go through soon. Okay. Yes, sir.
I just embarrassed her thoroughly.
No, you're fine. That is a great question. That is a great question. But we'll talk about that in a minute. The college grades, the grading scale. I want everyone to understand this because you walk into your classes in high school and you need a 92 to get an A. Okay? Everyone has that. But when you go to the college, they operate on a 90. A 90% equals an A. But some professors may walk in and say, you need 3,000 points. Now, obviously, everyone can do the math and you can figure up the percentage, but the 3,000 points that you need for an A may not equal up to a 90%. It may be a 98. I don't know. You're going to have to look at the syllabus that the college professor provides you to determine what equals an A. Because I know that's a big deal for a lot of kids. I got to get an A. Okay? I'm going to say this right now, and this is not a scare tactic. You may get a B. Okay? I want to make sure that there are people sitting in here that have been writing a 4.0 since they were in 4th grade or whenever it was that grade started. Okay? You may get a B in college. It is not the end of the world. Okay, if you've worked hard and you got a B, I want to make sure that you understand something with that B, and I'll talk about this in Keys Money. That B for Keys Money is an A. Okay, everyone knows about Keys Money, right? Everyone's worried about Keys Money. How much money is the state going to give me? This free money. The B is an A. The A is like an A+. So it will not kill your Keys Money. Yes, it does affect your high school GPA. It does. But what we have done to kind of help with some of that is that if you earn an A in a dual credit class on campus, you get a 100 on your high school transcript. Okay? That is something that the district has adopted. We started it, and the rest of the district has said that's a pretty good idea. So they're doing that as well. You're working in a dual credit college class, and it's hard. It's tougher. We got some kids that you're sitting next to you at lunch, and they're taking PE all day, right? And they're like, you got straight A's. I'm taking AP this and that. And so we've bonused you by, if you get an A in a dual credit class, then that equals a 100%. So if you get a B in a dual credit class, that equals a 91%. So we're going to give you the best percentage of that letter grade. Does that make sense? So because the college assigns letter grades, when you get your report card from the college, which only shows up on the computer, okay, parents, that's where it will show up. They will not mail anything home to you. I will send something home to you, but the college will not. It's just a letter grade. So we attach the numeric value. All right? There are no more attendance points. Everyone loves the attendance points in high school. I'm going to show up every single day. At the end, I'm going to get 3 points added to my grade. Woo, that's great. It does not happen in college. You're expected to attend. A lot of the classes will have points assigned to being there for daily work, but there are no more attendance points that you were receiving for your high school classes. So I want to make sure that you don't get confused with that. Now, college professors and high school teachers. I want to make myself perfectly clear when I talk about this. I'm not telling you that one is better than the other, but I'm telling you that they are different. Your college professor may or may not know your name by the end of the semester. They may know where you sit and that you showed up, to class. Your high school teacher, they get to know you, they build that strong relationship. Your college professor may not. There are some of our college professors that have, and it's been really nice for those students. Their teaching style will be very different than you've probably ever experienced as a high school teacher. They will teach the way they like to teach, not to your learning style. They may be all lecture. They may only offer tests, no quizzes or homework assignments. All right? A professor may be like infatuated with some topic, I don't know, maybe they're a Game of Thrones fanatic, and they may try to relate everything in class to Game of Thrones. What does that have to do with philosophy? I don't know, but they might do that in that philosophy class. I want you just to understand that those college professors, they teach with a different standard than your high school teachers do. That doesn't make them better or worse. It just makes them different. Okay? I am still going to be the person that you come to if you have questions and or concerns. We're not just throwing you out there to say, figure it out. If you have an issue with a professor that may be doing things or saying things that you think are inappropriate, come tell me. We can figure that out. I may talk you through it and see that, it's perfectly fine, and we might find out that we need to talk to their boss. I've had conversations with the president, Dr. Pate, and I. We have conversations a lot. So sometimes we find out that said professor is not good for our students. And so we don't schedule our students with that professor. I'm not out there to try to find a way to get rid of professors, but I want to make sure that our students have the best ability to be successful. So we know some professors we avoid at this point, okay? Now, dual credit scholarship and Keys Money, very important. As a high school student in the state of Kentucky, the current rule and regulations is that every single student in the state of Kentucky gets 2 free classes. Now, some people in here may have already taken their 2 free classes because you're taking dual credit at your high school. You don't get 2 free classes a year. You get 2 free classes as a high school student. I will walk you through that process if you still need to retrieve those free classes. I'll walk you through it. But it does take time on the billing side of things, parents, because we will put in that the student is going to receive a free class. That gets sent in from Kia, it goes to the college, and the college recognizes it, and then they wait for them to get the money, and you may look at the bill online and see that it hasn't been paid yet, that portion. And you're like, what's going on? Why does my child still have a bill? Well, we're waiting on that money. It will establish that there is a scholarship, but the money will not come out yet. But we'll talk through that as it all happens. So understand that when you are looking to pay the bill, if you're trying to figure out exactly what you owe, you pay 1/3 of the tuition, the one third of the rate. So if your child is taking 15 college credit hours, and the current tuition rate, I believe, is just under $57 per credit hour, then you just multiply that by the total credit hours, $57 by the total credit hours, that's the 1/3 rate, and then you'll see how much you owe. And then so you can make that payment. You can overpay, they'll let you, okay? They will send you your money in a refund at the end of the semester when everything is finalized. But if you want to wait towards the end of the semester to pay, when we know it's all finalized, and I will message that out when bills are finalized and fixed, you can wait. Your child will probably get 15 messages on their email from the billing office saying, pay your bill. You're going to be dropped from classes. Pay your bill. You're going to be dropped from classes. Your child will never be dropped from classes due to financial obligation because they are a high school dual credit student. Okay? 1 year from now, they will drop you like a rock. Okay? But as a high school student, they will not. So I want you all to know that. So what should your goal be? Your goal should be to pay off the fall tuition by mid to late October, because we are going to then be scheduling for the spring. And they don't like to see that there's still bills out there waiting. So, financially, you're starting to think through what I want to do. You probably mid to late October try to have it paid off. And then for the spring, you want to try to have it paid off by mid to late April. Okay? Sooner the better. But obviously, you want to make sure that the bill is right. And if you have a question about that, let me know, and I can work with you on it. And I already mentioned how your student will continue to earn KEYS money for all of their classes, and they do that at a bonus rate because it's dual credit. So that's good. So a lot of people will see their KEYS report after their high school senior year, and they'll see if they did really well. Instead of a 4.0 for all A's, they may see 5.0 or 4.89, and you'll see the max dollar amount of $500 from the semester. You max out at $2,500 for KEYS money. And that's with college or for high school grades and ACT score. So that's the most you can get if you're looking at your KEYS report. Blackboard. Blackboard is the student learning module. That's where probably 90% of all their classes will operate through Blackboard. So parents, if you're interested in seeing what your student is doing, have them log into Blackboard and show you. You should not have your students log in and be logging into their Blackboard for them. Okay? It is actually a FERPA violation, and you can sit here and say, I pay the bill, I'll do what I want. Well, you're breaking the law. So just tell your student, I want to see what you're doing. Log in, show me. Okay? And hopefully you all are communicating like that. If you're calling me saying, how's my kid doing? Can you tell me their grades? I'm going to ask you, when was the last time they logged into Blackboard for you? Because they should be doing that. We're going to check grades 3 times a semester, and maybe more often for some of those, but at least 3 times a semester, we'll check grades with them. They'll come in like we were parent, they log in, they show us, and we record where the grades stand. But you all can be doing that with your kids, and I encourage you to do so. Email for students. I know a lot of you are not the emailing kind. If there was a way that I can send it out on Snapchat, I know you all would get it. Okay? But you've got to get used to using your email, especially your KC-TCS email that you will get. That is the primary way that you will communicate with your professors. A lot of information from the college comes that way. So make sure that you are using your email. The remind, we will use that like I spoke about earlier. Make sure that you are using that. And overall communication, the biggest thing is, to be successful, you need to communicate. If you are confused about something that's going on or a message that came across, message me back, give me a call, send me an email, something. Parents, encourage you to do the same thing. Our students that are not successful are the ones that fail to communicate or fail to attend classes. And those are the two detriments. So make sure that they are doing those things. Another fantastic part of this program is that your child's textbooks, the physical textbooks that they need for classes, will be taken care of by the district. Now our district, once we have their schedules, we will send them to the bookstore. The bookstore will collect all the textbooks, and then your students will go down probably that second week, August 12th, that we're not in class. You can go down with your student ID and go down and pick up your textbooks. You'll be your responsibility to make sure that you have all those physical textbooks. Now here's the one drawback to all that. Some of your classes don't have a physical textbook and instead have online content. The district cannot recoup the online content because once your child is done with that class or completed, the online content goes away. There is a lot of time there are fees attached to that part. We can't discount them. We can't do anything about them. That is part of your student's bill. Okay? And how much of that will you see on your account? If they're taking an online class, I will 100% guarantee there's online digital content for them. Probably for the rest of the classes, it's probably a 50% chance that there is an online textbook. Okay, so if the textbook is not required, then the district will not pay for it. If the textbook is recommended because there's an online textbook and there's a recommended, sometimes that recommended may be like a leaflet type textbook that goes in a 3-ring binder, and sometimes the fee to that would be like $20. I'm old school still with that, and I want to hold a textbook. So I would be the person to say, okay, you can charge me that fee, I'll pay the $20, give me a physical textbook, I want that one. But before your student ever does that, they will check with us because we may already have that book. We have a collection already of textbooks over the past 5 years, and so some of those textbooks are still in use. And so we'll disperse those out to your kids. There won't be a reason for them to have to purchase that. So but again, just check with us first. Now, sometimes during the semester, this is a little different obviously than what your student is used to in high school. Sometimes during the semester, there may be a bad class and your student needs to withdraw from that class. We do allow students to withdraw from classes if they are maintaining over 12 credit hours. So 12 credit hours is what we consider to be full-time. So if a student is taking more than that, let's say they're at 15 hours, 5 classes, and during the semester, one of those classes starts to go bad, we don't know why, and the student needs to drop that class because nope, we do not want an F on your transcript. Okay? That is very bad. We do not want an F. We can drop the class. Now, if we drop the class, that is not them coming into me and saying, hey, Mr. Robbins, I need to drop a class. Okay, let's drop it. It never happens like that. Parents, you have to sign off on it. You have to sign off on that drop. Tomorrow's the deadline, and I've had students coming in here doing paperwork with me to drop courses, and understandably, tomorrow we're off of school, and I'm working, but things are different. And so I've done some verbal over the phone with parents, and if we have to do that, we will. I don't have a lot of students drop classes in the fall. We don't have a lot. Probably a handful. We have more in the spring. Why is that? Anybody want to take a guess? Yeah, you know it, right? Senioritis. It's very contagious. There's no cure, no antibiotics. Everyone is anybody can get it. Some people get it multiple times. It's a bad thing, but it happens to the best of students. Again, our goal is that your student is not failing. We do not want them to be unsuccessful, but we have some discussions if that needs to happen. Now, if that happens, your student drops the course. We bought the textbook. The district bought the textbook. You will have to pay for that textbook if you drop a course. That is our district's rule. We're not into buying textbooks for kids just to drop and fail courses. If the student stays in the course and doesn't realize that they're not doing very well and they end up with a D or an F, you pay for the textbook. Okay? A's, B's, and C's, even though C's aren't even the greatest in this case, are fine. Okay? In the fall semester, if you owe for a textbook and you don't pay for that, you will not get district-funded textbooks for the spring. If you still do not pay for that textbook, you will not graduate. Okay? You must have all dues and things paid for to graduate. So we have some students that are having to come up with some money for some textbooks now that the spring semester is ending and graduation is around the corner. For instance, the anatomy textbook that kids are taking is $228.55. Okay? So if that's a class, and but now that textbook is used for 2 semesters, though, for Anatomy 1 and Anatomy 2, but it's still a fee that the student would have to pay. Any questions on that? Okay, we'll turn the page. We're getting there, I promise. So, like I said, 12 college credit hours is our minimum. Every student should be taking 12 college credit hours or more during the entire semester. That's full time. If a student drops below that because we've had to do a drop or something, then we have the right that we can pull your kid in and say, you're dropping below, something has happened, and there's circumstances sometimes that happen. Your student will now be on a high school schedule. And we're going to see them now from 8:30 till 3:30 in a sense. They may come here and be reporting to EC3 all day. But we reserve the right that at any point, if we need to, we can pull your kid back in and saying, I've visited class 3 times in the past 2 weeks, and you haven't been there. So now you're coming in every morning before class, and you're staying here. We'll help you get to class. Then you'll come back after class, and you'll stay to the end of the day. That doesn't happen a lot. I'd say that to parents. That doesn't happen a lot. Most of our students are very mature, and they're taking care of it. But I want everyone to know that we do reserve the right to do that because they still are a Hardin County School student. And they fall under the same exact rules as everyone else in that their goal is to graduate. All right? Study journals and grade checks. Study journals and grade checks. We will do these 3 times a year. They're on here. September 16th to the 20th will be the first one. October 21st to the 25th, the second one. And then November 25th to the 29th is the last one. And that is right before final exams. So we will know where you stand 3 times a semester. It's just like doing a progress report, but you have to come in. I will send a message out the week prior and saying grade checks next week. Students come in anytime during that week. There's several of us that do grade checks. They'll come in, they'll do grade checks, and they're gone. Many students come in, they're here for 5 to 10 minutes, and they're gone. Sometimes the longest wait is waiting because there's other kids in front of them. So don't worry that that's going to take your day away to do a grade check. The worst part is that I've sent messages out, and then it comes to Friday, and I still don't see you. That's when I send a message to parents and say, I still have not seen your child for a grade check. Please help me. Or I make a phone call. So again, we shouldn't have to chase people down for this stuff. Just come in and do what you're told, and you get out of here. If during a grade check, grades are not favorable, then we may tell you we'll see you next week. I want to check it again. Because sometimes a student may come in and say, I'm not doing very well, but I got a test next week that I'm really ready for, so let me take that test and you'll see my grade come up. All right, so come back in 3 days or whenever that test is, and the teacher gets a grade, and come back and show us your grades. And then we can take you off our list. But we will always keep those alerts, and if we find out that your student is in danger with a D or an F on classes, I will send that to you, parents. I'll let you know. Okay, but that shouldn't be news to you because you're checking grades too. All right? Every student, like I said earlier, must take English and math. If you are coming in from one of the high schools where you did not take English 101 or 102, then you will take English 101 and 102. You will also take public speaking. Everyone will take math. The level of math that we have everyone take is at least college algebra, if not greater. That's why you had to have a 22 on your ACT or the Coyote of a 14 for college algebra. That is our goal. That is where we're trying to put everybody. Because that is what your program shows you need. Now that is our Associates of Arts and Associates of Science. If you'll look at most degree programs, that's what they're looking for. So that's what we want you to be in. The goal is that you graduate high school and finish at ECTC being what we consider Gen Ed certified. That's 33 hours. So if you do the math on that right now, and you're like, well, I've never taken any dual credit. I'm walking in right now. Well, that would be 15 hours one semester and 18 hours the next. That may not be feasible for everybody, but that's our goal, is to try to get there. What does it mean to be Gen Ed certified? Well, if you look at what the pre-curricular, the pre-admission requirements are for like the University of Kentucky, for most degree programs within that, they call their core, their Kentucky core, you have to take a foreign language. But if you're Gen Ed certified, but when you get there, you don't have to take a foreign language because you're Gen Ed certified. And if you, that's again, look at UK, U of L, WKU, EKU, Northern Kentucky, it's all the same. You have to meet whatever it is that their Gen Ed is. But if you have Gen Ed certification, then you're in good shape when you get there. You don't have to meet their Gen Ed requirements. Okay, so that's a big deal to do so. Now, transferability with classes. We have seamless transferability in the state of Kentucky from our public colleges and universities. EC3 is part of the KCTCS network, and every class that you take here will transfer 100% to our public colleges and universities in the state of Kentucky. Private in the state of Kentucky, I'm going to throw a number out there, and this is based on what I see and hear. It's probably about a 95% success rate on transferability. They're getting better. Our private schools want to work more and more with our public. We know that happens. And I'm talking Campbellsville, your Lindsey Wilsons, Kentucky Wesleyan, Bellarmine, Georgetown. Okay, those are our privates. Now, if you're looking to go out of state, okay, one, you may be forfeiting all that Keys money you earned, okay, and two, I cannot guarantee your course is transferring. But you can. You could start that conversation with that college and university and tell them the courses you're taking and look into it. We have had some students take these courses on to out-of-state colleges and haven't had a problem, okay? But that is more on your plate to have to look at that as a student, okay? So make sure that you're doing so. But your college schedule will depend, outside of those core classes that we tell you need, will depend on the degree path that you want to follow. We're only going to help you pick the ones we tell, these certain ones, and then the rest are yours. So we have kids that go to the college and they're taking, maybe it's anatomy. I mentioned that earlier. We have some kids that are taking, upper level chemistry. We have some students that are over there taking a philosophy course. We have some students over there taking like an intro to film, maybe taking, music appreciation, whatever. You get to pick those things. So we're going to make sure, again, that we try to figure it out to where it fits on that Gen Ed certification list. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. But every single thing that you take will end up on your high school transcript. Okay? It will stay on your college transcript forever. It is permanent. It is permanent. If you withdraw from a class, that W shows up on your transcript. That does not hurt you. It does not hurt you because there is no GPA attached to it, but it still shows up there. It is a permanent record. So I want to make sure that everyone understands that as we're moving through this and you're taking on courses, that you are truly a college student that's still in high school. Okay? Now, the question was asked earlier about when are we going to schedule. I met today with the dual credit coordinator, Lauren Sims, at the college, and she is working on some dates for me now. We may potentially have some dates before you all get out of school. I know like the last week sometimes in some of your classes you may not be doing a whole lot, and if we work some things out, we may work out to where you may come over one day and meet with her and schedule. And if we had to work on transportation, we have buses that go, we even have school vans, but we may try to do that before school gets out. I really would like to do that, but I just can't guarantee it. If not, it will probably happen the first part of June. Our students that are coming into this program with you, our academy students that have been here as high school juniors, have already scheduled. They already have, they're ready to go now. Some of them are scheduled for the summer as well. Summer classes are an option for you if you want them. If you want them. You will still get them at 1/3 tuition. Why would you want to take a summer class? Maybe it's because you want that Gen Ed certification and you don't see a way that you're going to get 15 and 18. Maybe it's just because you heard some other friends that are in the academy program are taking a summer class. You're like, I'd like to get a jump start. That's perfectly fine. We can do that. Okay? Sometimes it's nice to kind of get, used to the system, the Blackboard system and things while taking just one class this summer. But just understand that I'm not telling you have to, but it is an available option. All right? So the classes for that will start in the summertime, and a lot of them will be online. They'll start classes, I think, May 10th or 12th. So, they'll still be in their high school classes. So you got to understand that. But if you're wanting to do that, there's a form on here that the additional papers that you did, I'll let students write something at the bottom of this, and we can start working on that quickly. Okay. Any questions over all of that information that I just talked about? That's kind of really the meat of this discussion today. Yes?
How do we find out, she was already in the program last year, so how do we find out where she's at with that 33 gen ed thing?
She has it. I can promise you that, yeah. Yeah, she's above that now probably, yeah. The next page is the walkthrough on setting up your student self-service account, all right, the email and things like that. Again, all of our students, we've passed this out to our students have walked through this and they've done this without any problem. I think this is pretty easy to follow. So please make sure that they do that. The next pages, this is I'm really talking to those students that are still needing to meet benchmark. Still needing to meet benchmark. The ACT is one way. Again, tomorrow's the deadline for the June ACT. And then the next way is by going over to ECTC and taking placement tests. Now, typically, I'll tell you, when our students go over and take placement tests, we've had high success rate. We've had a high success rate. But they can't just walk in and think, I'm ready for it. They probably should do some studying, reading on some stuff and kind of getting themselves prepared. The nice thing about those tests, they are on a computer and you will know your results immediately. The other thing is they take time out of the factor. And you only take that one test for that one area that you need at a time. Whereas, sit down for the ACT, you're going to wake up early, you're going to get there, you're going to sit through all parts no matter what. So that's the nice part about this. But there are 3 separate tests. So there's one for English, the language test, there's one for reading, and then there's a test for math. And you have to be sure that you tell them you're needing to take the math test so that you can be eligible to take college algebra. So they give 2 math tests. One's called a Coyote Math and one's called Coyote Algebra. The Coyote Math is taking that test and scoring high doesn't help you to get into college algebra. They just say, okay, now you're ready to take the Coyote Algebra. That's what they'll do. But some people may want just kind of something to prep them and get them ready. But the college algebra is the test that they have to have. Okay, and it's a 14. They get to take it the first time for free. Once they secure that KCTCS ID number that I talked about, and they take an ID, they'll be able to go in, schedule an appointment. If it's an appointment day, if it's a walk-in day, you can just walk in. And you get to take the first time for free. The second time will cost you $7 to take that test. If you're taking a math test, I think you should take your calculator with you. I've heard people say that, so probably make sure you take one with you. If you do not meet the benchmarks after taking this test twice and you take the ACT, unfortunately, I can't control anymore. Okay? The program standards are set by the college, and so that's what we follow. Okay? So we have to be able to follow that for our students. All right? There are some preps on the back of this page that your student can try. If you look at this page here, I think it's our last page before the calendar page. Step 1, apply to ECTC. Step 2, submit transcripts and ACT scores. You don't have to worry about that. We submit your transcripts and your scores for you. Okay? You just make sure you take care of the application. The enrollment verification form, step 4, that form will be filled out when you schedule your classes. So whatever date that happens, when you schedule your classes, that form will be completed then. You'll fill it out, you will sign it, your parent will sign it, then you bring it back to me. It says high school official. Please understand, when it comes to this program, I am the high school official. and Miss Wright that's sitting out there, that's our guidance counselor, she's the high school official. Do not take these forms back to your home high school. Okay? They could get lost in that shuffle. And that's the nice thing about how this program works. You still have 2 guidance counselors. You have your one at your high school and you have Miss Wright. You have multiple administrators now because you have your ones at your high school and you have me. But when it comes to things that deal with this program, if you go to your high school and ask them about it, they're probably going to say, go ask them at EC3. Because this is our program. This is our baby. So, we're here to help you with it, help you be successful. Our average freshman GPA, so first semester of our academy program, we were at 3.67. Our first semester for our early college students, we're sitting at 3.42. The average college freshman is not a 3.0, okay, nationally. So understand that our students do perform better, but they perform better because of this network, okay, that you provide at home, that we provide here, that our dual credit advisor provides. That's why our students are successful. All right? I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions now. Like I said, this will be recorded and we'll share this out for those that were not able to make it. But I want to make sure that you leave here and you have all questions answered. And then I'm going to get to the last couple of documents. I do have on here, you can see the fall calendar. The fall calendar on here where they talk about the dates. We are similar. Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving for everybody when the campus closes. So you'll see those dates on here. There are some dates on a drop. If a student had to drop a class before September 10th, then you would only pay 50% of your 1/3 tuition. If you drop after that date, you pay the whole entire thing. Okay? The 2 pages that you got separate from this has a spring calendar that's already out. So you can see on there when spring break is, which like I said is a couple weeks earlier than Hardin County School spring break. And you see when the semester ends. And at the very bottom of that page, you see commencement. I think it says May 11th on there. I don't know where everybody is in this program, but we have had some early college students that can get to the point of earning their associate's degree. So if your child does meet that, obviously, then we would love to see them participate in the commencement ceremony for ECTC. Theirs for this class is on the 13th. So we have, of our early college program, we have like 35 kids that are graduating with their associate's degree this year. So we will have probably double that amount, if not more, next year with your class. Okay, so that is very exciting. Now, to participate in that commencement, you do have to purchase an additional cap and gown. Either purchase it new or maybe purchase it from somebody that's graduating this year. And then your students that do complete this program, that do earn an associate's degree, do get recognized for that as well at their high school graduation. All right. The one form on here, if you don't mind, I'll grab this. This form right here is very important. If you are trying to take classes at your home high school or here at EC3 because you're in a program pathway, I know I see some nursing students in here and some engineering and so on. If you're still trying to complete both of those programs, you need to make sure that you fill this out and let us know. If you're wanting to still take some class at your high school, maybe you're still involved with band or choir and things like that, that's fine. Please let us know on this form because we have to wipe out schedules in Infinite Campus and we're going to use those to tell us if you still need a high school class or not. All right? You can also write on there if you're interested in taking a summer class. Just write on there, I'm interested in taking a summer class. I'll contact you and we'll work through. I'll give you the options of what classes are available and I'll help you get enrolled for that. Okay? Now, questions. Okay, good. Have a great night. All right? I will stick around. If you have a question you want to come ask me, then please feel free to come ask me or you can ask Miss Wright. But we'll be here. And look at that. It's not even 6:30. So, all right. Thank you all for coming.